Hello, hello, hello. I hope everyone is having a good Saturday. I know a lot of good news is not out there. Hi, Matt. Hi, Glinda. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Nana. Hi, Deborah. How you guys doing tonight? Hi, Roger. Hi, Sabrina, Matt, Linda, Tia, Retha, Joe, Debbie. How you guys all doing tonight? Hopefully everyone's having a good night. Like I said, a lot of not so good news out there from everything happening in Buffalo, New York earlier today, where 10 people were killed in a racially motivated mass shooting, according to police. Um, the 18-year-old suspect is in custody. A lot of questions, though. A lot of questions about this one. 10 people, of course, were killed at the supermarket. The suspect was in tactical gear, and he was live streaming the attack. The suspect's a white male, and he is in custody, and he is identified as Peyton Grinman. He's charged with first-degree murder. Of course, of the 13 people that were attacked, 10 died. Of those shot, 11 were black and 2 were white. So, of course, that's why they're saying it's racially motivated at this point. As Buffalo, of course, that area in Buffalo is a very ethnic community. So they're marking it as a hate crime and act racially motivated violence. Whether it is or not, that's what they're calling it right now. Sad. It is sad. But how you guys doing tonight? Sick and evil. Sick and evil is no doubt. Hi, Bruce. Hi, Janice. Let's make sure to say hi to everybody that comes in. Hi, Eden. Please make sure you share this out and hit that thumbs up button when you do come in so it definitely gets out to the people. Big question is wheat. What's going to happen? I mean, wheat markets are ready. If you're looking at the markets and what's actually happening, it's India now pulled out their sales to international, which is not a question that we knew that was going to happen. China has increased their buying of wheat since 2020. People didn't notice 1,000% increase in buying of U.S. wheat last year to this year. 1,000% last year, 1,000% this year. They're buying up wheat at an alarming rate. They're prepared. They're getting prepared to their country to have supplies and stockpiles of supplies. Meanwhile, here in the U.S., we're looking at a wheat output issue. A serious issue with wheat output as we go forward. It's not looking good. If we look at the drought chart here, it reflects as of March 1st. This is the drought chart. Our heaviest producing wheat area is right here. They're in a major drought, causing major wheat production to be in a problem. 73% of winter wheat production was within drought areas experiencing the drought. That we have major crop shortages because of that. Now, because of fertilizer shortages, the impact of everything that's happening is not looking good as an outcome for wheat. The United States, of course, produces an average, I think, of around 11,000 tons, 16,000 tons a year. So, but this is our average wheat chart right here, and wheat prices are up to 750 right now, and it's going to keep going up. Exports are going to keep going down, and total usage looks like it's going down. The problem is 83% of the wheat market in the first 8 months, this yearly market, bushel prices are going up, and everything's not happening with the way we want it to. I mean, it's causing serious issues with the whole market and as a whole. Of course, that's our food supply. Like we were talking about the food supplies issues. Yeah, I don't know, Billy. I do not know about that. I don't think who will ever be in charge of us. I'm sorry. We are free Americans, and I will stay that way until the day I die. God bless you guys for being here. If anybody wants to call in and talk about the situation, I mean, we know what's going on in New York. We're going to get to Russia here. Russia is a big, big story today. Lots of stuff happening. Of course, as Russia is saying, the West has already declared war on Russia. Not just the West. UK is actually saying the same thing. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. Of course, U.S. or UN officials warned Putin of millions of people around the world will die if Ukraine's ports remain closed because of wheat. I mean, right now, Ukraine and Russia supply around 29% of the world's wheat. And that's a major problem, not including the metals and other materials that they supply. So seeing India pull out, that's 30% of the world's wheat now not in supply. The U.S., of course, we know our production is way down this year so far because our winter wheat was in a drought condition. Now we don't have fertilizer to get as much wheat into the ground. It's a ton of problems with the market as it all adds up. So the West has declared total war on Russia and will suffer, according to Russia's foreign minister. Russia's foreign minister said, speaking on the 80th day of conflict, hard prediction of how long a hybrid war would last, highlighting the parade of sanctions on Moscow by the West. The minister attempts to portray Russia as a target and not the perpetrator of this aggression, which technically they are a target of sanctions. I'm not going to deny that. The collective West has declared a total hybrid war on Russia, and it is hard to predict how long this will last, but it's clearly the consequences will be felt by everyone, without exceptions, in his speech. Meaning, which I see coming, is them destroying the wheat that Ukraine does have. I see that coming in the next few days. Of course, the efforts to isolate Russia were doomed to fail. Putting in the national relationship with China, India, and Algeria and the Gulf countries. I mean, you can't stealing assets from other countries, which we did. I'm not going to deny that the U.S. stole assets from Russia and losing the reputation of most of the people. I mean, it is sad. It's just utterly ridiculous at this point. I know my camera is froze. I do not know why. I'm trying to restart it right now as we speak. For you guys out there wondering what's going on, there we go. But the future of the world's economy will be a de-Americanized one. As everything that Russia is claiming they've done, everything they've done to avoid a direct clash. But now the challenge has been thrown down. And Russia, of course, saying we will accept it. We are no stranger to sanctions. They're almost always there in one form or another. These are powerful statements coming out of Russia. Powerful statements, and not just by Putin. This is the foreign minister stating this stuff that he's coming out and saying this now. So it's not just looking at Putin. It's not just Putin. Strong problem. Well, here's the thing. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but World War II, we got involved with fighting Japan on behalf of China. And we edged our way into that war. Japan and China were fighting. We got ourselves into that war because we helping China because China was our buddy or friend at that time. It's just bad. And now China's no longer an ally. It's one thing after another. You can't declare somebody an enemy for the rest of your life and just let it happen. It's not okay. Of course, there's a reported coup from Ukrainian intelligence chief says a reported coup to remove cancer-stricken Putin is underway in Russia. I don't know how much truth there is to this, but I'm going to read what the major general said of Ukraine. It will eventually lead to the change of leadership in Russia's federation. The process has already begun and been launched, and it's moving into that way. So I don't know how true that is, but that's the only statement we got about it so far. I mean, there's a lot of people talking about Putin having cancer, and the cancer specialist that he actually deals with is a thyroid cancer, which is thyroid cancer is easily treatable. But now they're saying it's blood cancer. I don't know. I really don't know. It's just one of those propaganda things that are causing problems around the world. Russian media, of course, propaganda turns into a spine-chilling rhetoric about nuclear war. There is an unprecedentedly seeming, the almost concerted effort to brandish around and play fast and loose with a rhetoric of World War III and nuclear strikes. How many seconds does it take for a ballistic missile to reach London, Paris, or Berlin? That's one of the questions pundit on Russian state TV were pondered as the war in Ukraine enters the third month. The eerie estimates were accompanied by geographics showing trajectories that Moscow would intercontinental ballistics would take to reach the capitals of the European nations, which supplied Kiev with the most military aid. All while the pro-Kremlin host, the expert on 60 Minutes Russian show, were nonchalantly joking about how the West would tune in, or how the West should tune in. See, the problem is the U.S. right now does not want to go nuclear, even if nuclear is used. We're trying to already avoid that situation, which means this would have a global impact. And of course, it could actually happen. It's sad what's happening. Russia threatens nukes for the U.S., UK, and Finland today if NATO expands. Yes, that's a direct threat. Putin warned the president of Finland today that any effort to join NATO would be negatively affecting relations between the two countries. The comments were followed by another Russian leader using a threat of Saturn II hypersonic nuclear missiles to strike Britain, Finland in just 200 seconds, saying that weapon could be used to hit the U.S. as well, making a direct threat. As NATO's foreign ministry gathers in Berlin, we'll discuss the potential applications from Sweden and Finland to join the Western military alliance. Putin spoke to the Finnish leader directly, and the Finnish leader told Putin in the phone conversation that the traditional non-aligned country will decide to apply for NATO membership in the coming days. So we got a lot to watch for once they make their initial, whether they're going to or not. Of course, moving towards the applications in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the traditional neutrality ended. Russia cut off electric supplies to Finland on Friday, and they remained off. Finland abandoned its traditional military policies of neutrality would be an error in the sense there is no threat to Finland's security, says the Kremlin. Such a change in country's foreign policy would affect Russian-Finnish relationships and would have been built in good spirits and good neighbors and partnerships for many years and mutually beneficial. Expanding NATO when NATO should have been destroyed when the Warsaw Pact was destroyed, or when USSR fell, NATO should have been taken out. It should have no longer been a party. The United States has used NATO to enforce its rule around the world for years. That's the reason we pay the most into it and we provide the most army for it. According to the Kazakhstan or Kazakh class nuclear weapons in the Finnish border, one of those could reach Finland in under 20 seconds or even under 10 seconds once launched. These are serious issues up and coming. Texas being told to conserve electricity as natural gas is running out for those natural gas plants, and they're being put offline, Sabrina. I don't know if you know that. Several natural gas power plants, and not only Texas, but around the U.S. have been offline due to this natural gas issue. Yeah. All this rhetoric going on. Great distraction. Yeah, food is going to get hard to get everywhere as you see baby formula being shortage. And now they're pointing to the border saying they're stockpiling all this baby formula for the immigrants. I want to let you know the total amount of formula that is at the border and the immigrant intake facility is less than one Walmart distribution center gets a week. One distribution plant or center for Walmart gets more than that in 1 week than what's at the border. That is a fault. That is a statement meaning people to be led to thinking that all this food is being stockpiled and given to immigrants. That is not what's happening at this point. There is no formula. It's hard to produce formula at a steady rate when you have a wheat problem. We exports, of course, going to roof going to China, and we're not even slowing it down. We're just going to let it keep going at this rate. I mean, it is a ridiculous problem to have. Wheat when drought areas, of course, spring wheat in drought areas is even worse. The spring wheat that got planted. Approximately 40% of spring wheat production. We're down 41% of spring wheat production because of experiencing droughts in areas. The outlook is not looking good. It's not looking good. Beginning stock is lower than it should be. Production is lower than it should be. Total supply right now is lower than it should be. Residential feed and use and seeds and domestic use and everything is lower than it should be. It's going to be a hard time coming up. Dollars per ton right now went from around $200 per ton to almost $500 per ton of wheat right now. That is a huge price jump. That's right now. Yeah, we sent all our, and this is the problem. Right now, we're facing just these issues. Now there's a new AI chip that's going to be in production soon, or a new chip that's going to be in production soon, that'll make your home computer 1,000,000 times faster. You understand that AI would not even require that. That's well above any AI that we need now. There'll be more industries and more things being taken over by AI quickly in the near future because of this. This will be something that's going to directly relate to every single person in the near future. Jobs for accounting, jobs for factory work. Why not just let robots control it all? I mean, we already see restaurants now using robotic kitchens, robotic servers. Where's it end? All getting one side or the other. Yeah. Basically, every computer will become a quantum computer with this new chip. 1,000,000 times faster with the computer you already have. With the new Lightgate chip. Craziness. It is absolutely crazy what is happening. Anybody wants to call in, we are more than it changes binary, which is a single one or zero, an on and off code, to have over 32 to 36 codes in a single space of one or zero, making the computer language expand drastically, making computers drastically faster. If you can send a 1 0 or an A, you've added a third step command, which means you exponentially expedited programming. You've added so many more characters to the language of programming, making it go faster. But it's crazy out there. It is crazy. Anybody wants to call in and talk about what's going on or how they feel about what's going on, let us know. If not, I'm going to end it here for the night, and I'll be back tomorrow night, of course, at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, giving you guys up-to-date information. We appreciate any donations we do receive. All our donations are going right now into our hurricane fund, which we use for the natural disasters if there are any up and coming. So far, we have $25 from Alex, $25 from Tia, $20 from Tobin, and $100 donation from Joe this month. So we definitely appreciate those donations, and thank you very much. Let me take that call real quick. Hi, how you doing tonight? You're live with Real News Live.
Hey, Chris, it's Matt. How are you?
Hi, how you doing?
Good, thanks. I was calling because I had a couple of questions.
Yeah.
One was with everything that's going on with, I was thinking about getting like a rainwater basin to catch rainwater in and then use like an Alexa Pro to put the rainwater through for survival type stuff. What do you think about that?
I think it's an awesome idea. I mean, rainwater catchment systems are great even if there's not a problem. I mean, you could save a lot of money. It depends on what state that you're in right now. Because catching rainwater is actually illegal in some places in the United States.
All right. Yeah.
So definitely check with. You can have the system and use it after, of course, a disaster happens. You can use it no matter what then. But prior to that, actually putting a system in place, you have to make sure it actually follows whatever laws are in your local area. To get in trouble for that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
rainwater catchment is an awesome thing. Solar is an awesome thing. I mean, people talk about propane and gas or having a generator. Those are temporary solutions. So nothing that's
That
going to do anything long term.
that was going to be my next question because I'm on the wait list to get the generator installed at my property right now, and I don't have a chimney or anything like that. We're in Massachusetts, and uh, it gets cold in the wintertime, and with no chimney or fireplace, and if the generator isn't going to last long term, that was the next question I was going to have: is do you have any suggestions?
Go solar. They actually make solar panels that are, I mean, decent enough where they're productive enough now. They're actually cost efficient. I mean, I'm sure you're paying more than the 6 cents per kilowatt hour, which is average right now for the U.S. I mean, if you're paying over 3 cents per kilowatt hour, you actually make money off of solar in the long over the 30-year term. And most of those allow you to take a 30-year term on the solar project itself. So you pay it like you pay your power bill for the, but your power bill's half as much.
That's actually not a bad idea.
I mean, a lot of people don't think about that, but if something happens, like all of a sudden the world goes to shit, guess what? They're not going to be collecting on that solar payment anyway. So at least then you have the system as a backup.
Absolutely, because I just don't like what's happening in the world right now. I'm definitely concerned about what's taking place,
Yeah.
which I think everybody should be.
Yeah, especially with Russia. This the stuff that's happening with Russia right now. NATO's pushing the line. I mean, I don't think you guys realize how bad it is. We're having our military with NATO along Ukraine border, along Belarus's border, in Lafayette, and all those countries along the border, doing exercises now, just like Russia was doing before they went into Ukraine. What does that say to Russia?
Oh yeah,
We're about to invade, so Russia's going to do whatever they can do.
just like with the whole thing with Finland right now wanting to join NATO. It's a nightmare. It's just I just feel
Well,
like we're pushing buttons with Russia and just keep on pushing the button, just keep on. I just don't understand why everything's happening the way it is, but
yeah, and it looks like Monday or Tuesday we'll get an answer, and depending on what the answer is, it could be. We could see a drastic change. We know the U.S. doesn't want to use nuclear war or nuclear weapons, even in a retaliation strike, because we already know if Russia uses more than three, we're going to suffer some kind of global winter, nuclear winter. Maybe for a couple years, it'll be a couple degrees cooler, which will cause major problems, of course, in crop production and everything else. So the U.S., of course, is now saying that they want to wait for a ultimate last resort where they have no other choice but to use them.
yeah, it's scary, scary times.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I just thought I'd call in and find out, pick your brain a little bit about those things. So I appreciate your time, and God bless you, and hope you have a great night.
God bless you, man. Be safe and be strong.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
Yeah. A lot of stuff's happening. Be prepared. Be prepared. God bless you guys. I'm going to sign off for the night. We will be back tomorrow night. Wood burning stoves are not expensive and they stay warm. Yeah, but the problem is, imagine if Tony, if every American had a wood burning stove, we wouldn't have enough wood. We really would not have enough wood at that point. But God bless you guys. Stay strong, stay tall, and God bless America. The America we know, not the America we're today and today. God bless you guys. We will be back tomorrow night. Pray for us.